I like to call algebra back, maths from scratch. We're going to pretend that today is your first day in high school, first day, and we're going to be doing positive and negative values and expressions. Now, this topic is basically what I like to call algebra, and you need to know algebra for your whole life, from now at least till the end of Form 5, right? You have to know it. The whole of maths rests on this. And you'll be surprised how much Form 5s have problems with this basic topic. So everyone write down, turn to a brand new page and take down today's topics. Positive and negative. Sometimes it is called negative minus, like minus numbers, values and expressions. Okay. So we're going to start off with some basics. Now, there are 4 things you can actually do in maths. The whole of maths is based on 4 concepts. Maths is actually based on addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. No matter what level of maths you're in, you go to, whether in university, whether you become a doctor in maths, you're going to realize maths is only based on 4 concepts: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, how much of you all have heard the expression, and I'm sure you heard it, 2 minus make a positive, or 2 negatives make a positive? Raise your hands if you have heard that at some point in your life. 2 negatives make a positive. It's a very, very, very common expression. But today, right, you're going to realize that's not actually totally true. It's not totally true. I know you're probably saying, what? Not true? 2 negatives, I'm going to write 2 negatives here. 2 negatives doesn't always give you a positive. It doesn't always. 2 negatives sometimes give you a positive, which raises the question of this. When do 2 negatives actually give you a positive, and when doesn't it do that? Well, then you're going to realize that maths is broken up into actually 2 categories. I'm going to put a line down the middle here. I'm going to separate the addition and subtraction from the multiplication and division. Why am I doing that? Well, you're going to realize today addition and subtraction have totally different rules to multiplication and division. That's right. You can't just throw all of them in one bucket. Addition and subtraction, which is what we're going to start off with first today. We're going to become experts in adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers and expressions. And when we perfect that, then I'm going to show you the totally different rules multiplication and division follow. But first, we have to clear up something. You see, expressions or values in maths can either be positive or it can be negative. How do you know whether something is positive or negative? You always look to the left of the value. For example, this 2. If you look to the left, doesn't he have a minus sign and a negative sign? Well, this value is -2 or -2, however you want to say it, right? Negative and minus is basically the same thing. So this minus sign belongs to the 2. It's not okay to walk up to 2 and say, hey, 2. No, that's not his name. His name is -2 or -2. The sign is part of a value. Like how your hand is part of your body. You don't ever want to separate your hand from your body. This 15, he is actually positive 15, because if you look to the left of the 15, he's positive. This 14 is -14. This 9 is positive 9. And yes, you're going to be meeting up a lot of letters today. This y is -y or -y. Now, one thing I want to tell you in maths, right? Whenever you see a letter standing by itself, like today, you're going to see things like 3y or 6y. If you see the letter y and it doesn't have a value or a number in front, it's automatically 1. You have to know that. No examiner is going to put in the 1. So whenever you see -y, this is really -1y. I want you to physically put in the 1, even though the examiner doesn't put it in. Now, if you see a value like this 13, if you look to the left and you don't see anything, it is automatically positive. So let me run through that again. Whenever you see a value in maths and you look to the left and you don't see a positive or negative sign, it is automatically positive. And in today's class, I want you to write in the positive. I don't want you to imagine it. Now look at this 2. What's the sign of this 2? Is this 2 positive or negative? If you look to the left, you don't immediately see anything. But sometimes people write things kind of bad in maths. You keep looking to the left. Even though this minus sign is far from the 2, it still belongs to Mr. 2. So that 2 is actually negative 2. Here we have x. You don't see a number in front of the letter. He is automatically 1x, and he is positive 1x. And this 15, he is negative 15. Signs are crucial today, right? I want everyone to take down everything I have, and this note simplifies everything that I just said. Don't worry about understanding everything 100%. Everything only falls into place when we start practice examples, like when we do questions over and over and over, all right? When you finish taking down everything on the screen, raise your hands or give me a thumbs up or something to let me know that, hey, you're finished. Don't write too slow, guys. We have to move at a certain punch. Let's get started with our first take down this topic now. We're going to be doing adding and subtracting, or adding and minusing. I don't know whether you guys use the word subtraction or minusing. It's the same thing, right? And that's a representative of the green team, of the green kingdom there. Right? Adding and subtracting, addition and subtraction. Right? Let's go. So do me a favor, right? Take down these rules, and then we're going to practice them. Now, I want you to take it down exactly how I have it. These rules are for adding and subtracting. And I want to make this perfectly clear. You notice I didn't talk about multiplication and division rules. We're not doing multiplication and division right now. Adding and subtracting have totally different rules to multiplication and division. And it have 4 rules. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you notice how I boxed off the 3rd rule? Why did I put a red box around the 3rd rule? The reason is he is super important. And he is the rule that most people forget. Take down the rules, and then we're going to do these 4 questions together as a team. But when you finish taking down the rules, writing it down, just raise your hands as usual. Today will be a slow-paced class. Today, you're going to realize that when you're adding and subtracting, 2 negatives do not make a positive. Hear me again. When you're adding and subtracting, 2 negatives do not make a positive. So let's say this is our first question. Let me say you open your exam paper one day, and you see -7 minus 3. This is an adding and subtracting question. So these rules apply. If you look to the left, the 7 is a minus, and the 3 is also a minus. Remember, the minus sign belongs to the 7, and the minus sign also belongs to the 3. You always look to the left of the number to decide what sign the number is carrying. Now, in this question, I think everyone could agree that the signs are the same. Same signs mean add. I know you're seeing 2 minus signs, but both of them have the same type of sign. So in maths, when you're adding and subtracting, if both of them have the same type of sign, you add. So here's what I want you to do. Just imagine 7 and 3 in your head. Forget the minus signs now. We know the instructions is telling us to add. Add 7 and 3 in your head. 7 plus 3 is what? 10. Now, most people would say the answer is positive 10 because they grow up hearing 2 minus signs make a positive. According to the rules, right? Look at rule number 3. The rule people normally forget. When you finish either adding or subtracting, depending on whether the signs are same or different, what does rule 3 say? Always put back the sign of the larger value. Which one is larger, 7 or 3? 7. What sign does the 7 carry? Isn't the 7 carrying a minus sign? So you always put back the sign of the larger number at the end. So the final answer to that question is minus 10. Take it down. You don't have to understand the first example 100%. We have how much examples on the screen? 4, right? No calculators today. Throw away your calculators, right? We're going to move on to the yellow question now. So everyone focus on that yellow question, right? Minus 8 plus 5. Minus 8 plus 5. This 8 has a minus sign because when we look to the left, it's a minus. And this 5 is positive 5. That positive belongs to the 5. And that minus sign belongs to the 8. Quick question. Are the signs the same right now? No. A minus and a plus. When you're adding and subtracting, different signs mean to do what? Minus. And the signs are clearly different. One is a minus and one is a positive. So we follow rule number 2. So it's telling us to minus the numbers. So picture 8 and 5 in your head. Forget the signs now. Just picture 8 and 5. Minus 8 and 5. And you'll get 3. And according to rule number 3, you always put back the sign of the larger value. Which one is larger, 8 or 5? 8. What sign does the 8 carry? The 8 is carrying a minus sign. So the answer is minus 3. Take down that one. We're going to do 2 more examples. So at the beginning of the question, when you're adding and subtracting, ask yourself, what signs does each number have? And if they are the same signs, you add. If they are different, you subtract. And you always put back the sign of the larger value, always. Let's try the green one, right? Let's try the green question here, right? So it has 7 minus 12. Now the 12 has a minus sign because when you look to the left, you see a minus once again. Whenever you're deciding whether a value is positive or negative, you always look to the left. But the 7, when you look to the left, he doesn't have a sign. You don't know whether he's positive or negative. But I did tell you, if you look to the left and you don't see a sign, it is automatically positive. And I want you to physically write in the positive. Do not imagine it in your head. Physically write it in. Now, let's start the question. He's positive and he's negative. The signs are what? Different. Once again. So different signs mean minus. So you're seeing 12 and 7 in your head. Let's just minus 12 and 7. You will get what? 5. And you always put back the sign of the larger value. Who's bigger? 7 or 12? The last time I checked, 12 larger than 7, right? And what sign does the 12 have? A minus. The answer is minus 5, right? I want everyone to try the blue question, right? Try the blue question, right? And send the answer on the chat. No calculators, huh? If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. Only I could see the answers, right? Nobody else could see the answers, okay? So if you get it wrong, no big thing. Do this one. Let's figure out the signs. This 22, if you look to the left, is negative, right? Let me get a better color there. If you look to the left, it's negative. If you look to the 8 to the left, it's positive. Once again, the signs are different. One is positive, one is negative. So according to rule number 2, if the signs are different, you minus. So I have 22 and 8. I just imagine I have $22 and $8, and I subtract them. 22 minus 8 is 14. Who is larger? Obviously 22. When you look to the left, according to rule number 3, he's carrying a minus sign. So my final answer is minus 14. All right? And that's the first 4 questions we did today. I know we didn't touch rule number 4 as yet. Rule number 4 is saying this, and I'll repeat it in a little while, that you're only allowed to add or subtract if they have the same type of letters. And none of these questions have any letters. So all of them are the same now. Like the first question, the red one, is a non-letter, a non-letter. Eventually, you're going to meet up letters like X and Y and whatnot. And when we do that, we'll bounce up rule number 4. Rule number 4 only applies when letters come into the picture. All right? All right. So if this is your first time doing this topic, I hope you picked up something. So here I have 4 questions. Yes, 4 questions for you guys to practice. Like I said, I really don't care if you get it wrong. I just need you to try. Apply all the rules to the right-hand side of the screen. Look at the rules. Just don't rush it. And send all 4 answers to me. But when you're sending the answers, you can say the red answer, the yellow answer, the green answer, or the blue answer. But I just need you to try. I will work it out just now. Take 4 minutes. 1 minute for each question and send your answers on the chat. To the red one. So for the first question, the red one, remember, the first thing we have to do is identify the signs, right? So for the red one, we know the 10 is positive. The 27, if you look to the left, you don't see anything. So we automatically put positive. Well, when a sign is missing to the left. Now to me, the signs are the same. He's positive and he's positive. What does same signs mean to do? Same signs mean add. So you're picturing 27 and 10 in your head. Just add them. Anybody could add 27 and 10. You'll get 57. And according to rule number 3, you always put back the sign of the larger value. Who's larger? 27 or 10? Last time I checked, 27 is bigger than 10. What sign does the 27 have? A positive. So the answer is positive 37. All right. Let's try the yellow one, right? So the 24 is what? A minus. The 15, no sign to the left, so put positive. One is positive and one is a minus. Different, right? Positive and minus are different. Different signs mean minus. So just picture 24 and 15 in here. That's 24 and 15. Minus 24 and 15. I think you'll get 9. Which one is larger? 15 or 24? Last time I checked, 24 is larger than 15. What sign does the larger value carry? A minus. So the final answer is minus 9. Right? Let's try the green one, right? Yes, guys. Right. So for the green one, right? The signs are the same. I'm seeing this 7 is a minus and this 2 is a minus. Same signs mean what? So you're picturing 7 and 2 in your head. 7 plus 2 is what? 9. Always put back the sign of the larger one and 7 larger. So he's carrying a minus sign. Now you'll realize something. 2 minus did not end up giving you a positive. Remember I told you that at the beginning of class? 2 minus signs don't actually give you a positive when you are adding and subtracting, right? It doesn't, and you're seeing it clearly here, right? 2 minus when you're adding and subtracting actually gives you back a minus. Let's try the blue one, right? This 2 is what? A positive. If you look to the left, and the 3 is a minus. Signs are different. Different signs mean do what? Minus. So 13 minus 2, I think that's 11, right? Which one is larger? 13. The 13 is carrying a minus. How much people got all 4 correct without my help? Like no assistance from me and without a calculator. Who got it correct? All right. So these questions are based when letters appear, right? Notice when the letter types are different, you cannot do anything with the question. So for the red and green, because it's X and Y, and this one is X and no letter, for the red one, the letter types are different. So whenever the letter types are different, the question shuts down. Let's do the blue one. For the blue one, 14. Well, he is really what? Positive 14. Because if you look to the left, you don't see anything, so you put in the 14. The 14 is positive, and Mr. 19 is negative. Last time I checked the rules, different signs mean minus. So you're picturing 19 and 14 in your head. 19 minus 14 is 5, right? You always put back the sign of the larger value. The 19 is larger. He's carrying a minus sign. And the letter involved, the common letter involved is A. Remember I said you don't write A because you have 2 A's. The letters, you only write it back once at the end of the question. Once, if you write it twice, that's completely wrong in maths. So the final answer is minus 5A. Right now, and I know I usually get this question, so I'm going to answer it before someone asks. The letter, does it have to come before? Can I write minus A5? This is correct too, but in its normal practice, right, to always write the A last. Just take my word on it. Let's just keep it like that, right? The letter, put it last. Do not put the letter first. Teachers will raise their eyebrows in the air and be like, even though it's mathematically correct, nobody likes to see it like that, okay? Right, giving you 10 seconds. By now, most people should be finished writing down everything, but I'm still going to give you 10 seconds to take down anything you didn't take down. Now the question gets harder. It's no longer about 2 numbers. Here we have 5 numbers. Take down that question. Don't write it small. Write it kind of big so it spans across the most of your page. How is your first question? I don't want you to write it small, right? You don't have to do this question. I'm doing it for you, right? Give you a couple of seconds. In maths, you can only handle 2 numbers at a time. No matter how smart you are, you can be the smartest person in the world. Your brain can only handle 2 values at a time, and believe it or not, no matter how smart a person is, only 2 at a time. So what we're going to do, we're going to apply that logic. It have 5 values here. We can't process 5 values at the same time. Let's do 2 at a time, but let's put in anything that's missing. This 11 is a minus. This 5 is a minus because we look into the left. This 8 is a positive. This 13 is a minus. The 7 is missing his sign. I want you to write in that positive. Remember, if you look to the left and you don't see a sign, it is automatically, by default, positive. Write it in, right? Waste your precious ink, right? And write it in. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to work out 2 at a time in groups of 2. So we're going to pay attention to these 2. So I want you to circle that for me. When you're circling the 5 and the 8, remember the minus sign belongs to the 5. When you're circling that pair, right? You might get a different color. Yeah. Do not circle it like this. You know why? Remember, this minus sign is part of the 5. That's like your hand that's attached to your body. Would you like it if somebody cut off your hand? No, right? You'll be angry, right? You'll wave your other hand in anger, right? So when you're circling the 5 and the 8, the positive belongs to the 8, the minus belongs to the 5. Make sure and circle it properly, Include the sign. So the 7 has a friend, the 5 has a friend, Mr. 13 doesn't have any friends, right? So I'm just going to box him off in an appropriate color here. I'm just going to choose blue as his color, right? For some reason, when I think of no friends, I just think of the color blue. I don't know why. Who knows why? It's a mystery. Right. So everyone box it off there. The first 2 have a pair. You have 2 pairs and then a 13 who, doesn't have anybody to be grouped with, right? Right. So let's handle the red pair first, right? The red pair, right? Look at this. He's positive, the 7 is positive, and the 11 is negative. According to the rules, different signs mean minus. Minus 7 and 11. If you have 11 and 7 in your head and you minus those 2, you're going to get 4. And you always put back the sign of the larger value. By now, everyone knows the larger one here is 11 and the sign is minus. Take that up to there. So when we squish the red pair together, we arrive at one answer, minus 4. So we simplified the red pair. Right? Let's try the green. The green, almost the same. Actually, I'm best to color code it for you guys. 5 and 8. The 5 is a minus, the 8 is a add. Signs are different. Different signs mean do what again? Minus. So picture 8 and 5 in your head. 8 and 5. Minus 8 and 5. You're going to get 3. Who is larger? The 8. What sign does the 8 carry? A positive. Take down up to there. Minus 4 plus 3. And the minus 13, well, he has nobody, so he just bring down the minus 13, right? So let's write minus 13 there. He trying his best to find a partner. He wants a buddy, but not yet, right? Not yet. So he just, hanging outside the circle, looking in, monitoring everybody, You'll get a friend one day, right? So we end up with 3 items now, but our brain can only process how much at a time? 2. So we have another pair here. Let's pair up these 2 and the minus 13, but he still has no friends. Minus 4 plus 3. The 4 is a minus, the 3 is a positive. We just happen to look at rule 2 again. Different signs mean minus. So picture 4 and 3 in here. 4 and 3, 4 and 3, 4 and 3. Minus it. When you minus 4 and 3, you get 1. Who is larger, the 4 or the 3? The 4. The 4 has what? A minus sign. So it's minus 4. And then the minus 13 comes down. Take down up to there. So when we squish the minus 4 and 3 together, we get one answer, minus 1, by following the rules to the right-hand side of the screen. Now, Mr. 13 has a friend, right? Now he has a friend. Because the minus 1 has no choice now, right? So 13 is like his last choice as a friend. Like, fine, I will hang on with you, 13, right? So it's still an addition and subtraction question, but the signs are the same. The 1 is a minus, the 13 is a minus. So look on top here now. Same signs mean add. Minus and a minus, right? So add 1 and 13. Picture 1 and 13 in your head. You get 14 when you add them. Who's larger? Mr. 13. What sign does the 13 carry? Minus. That is your final answer, guys. When you boil down that whole question, you get minus 14. You see how we did it? We did it 2s in pairs, right? Take down up to there. Right, I hope your brain is not smoking at the moment. If it does, get a bucket of water and throw it on your head. I want everyone to try this question. It's a practice question. Remember, group it up in pairs, 2 at a time. If somebody doesn't have a friend, that friend will be single for a while or until the end of the question. Okay? Good luck. No calculators, please. Cover time. Let's group it up. A green pair there, when I'm circling, I'm not going to cut off any signs. That minus sign belongs to the 6. This minus sign belongs to the 6 also. And well, I'm not going to bother to circle the positive 7. You don't have no friends right now, okay? So let's start off with the green one. Now, obviously, I'm going to move a little bit faster now, right? Because we have the rules here. Signs are the same. Same signs mean add in adding and subtracting. So 6 plus 10 is 16. Always put back the sign of the larger value. Minus 16. 10 is larger. Let's do the red, right? Minus 6 plus 2. Signs are different. One is minus, one is positive. Different signs mean minus. Minus 6 and 2. You're going to get 4. Who's larger, 6 or 2? The 6. What sign does the 6 have? A minus. Remember, you always put back the sign of the larger value. And who has no friends right now? The positive 7. So he drops down and joins the party. Hey, guys, right? And of course, they ignore him, right? For the time being, they ignore him. So let's find a pair. Minus 16 and minus 4. In this pair, the signs are the same, minus and minus. Same signs mean add. So you have 16 and 4 in your head. Add 16 and 4. 20. Who's larger? The 16. Put back the sign of the larger value. And now Mr. 7 comes. He's like, haha, we're the only 2 people left on the planet. You have to be my friend now. And he minus 20 size, bows his head. Is like, all right, no problem. So for the last pair, the minus 20 and the 7, the signs are different. Different signs mean minus. Picture 20 and 7 in here. Minus 20 and 7. 13. And who is larger? Minus. Sorry, the 20. And the 20 is carrying a minus sign. Minus 13 is your final answer. Right? If you got it wrong, you got it wrong. Not a problem. Just try to figure out what you did wrong from my working. Make a mental note. Move on with life. Much harder looking question now. What's making this question look harder? It has letters in it. Take down the question. I'm not asking you to do this question. I will be doing it for you. But just take it down, give me a minute, and then we will begin this question together. Right? What you want to do is put all the values with the same letters next to each other. So you want to group all the X's together. You want to group all the Y's together. And everything without any letters, you put them together. It's like organizing your clothes now. You just put all the socks in one drawer. You put all the pants in one drawer. Stuff like that, right? Similarly here. Now the question is, if it have different letters like X and Y, who do you see about first? Do you have to do the X's first? Do you have to do the Y's first? The truth is, it really doesn't matter. But I'm a person who likes to go in alphabetical order. That's just how my brain is. So X comes before Y in the alphabet, right? So I'm going to group all the X's together first. Now look at me do this. I'm going to circle all the X's. Now when you're circling the items with the X's, you can't cut off the signs. And the sign is part of the value. Like minus 6X. We'll get a different color. Sorry, bad color. I'm going to circle everything with an X in it. Do not do the 11 like this. You notice this positive sign belongs to the 11. So make sure and circle it properly. Do that for me, guys. Everyone circle all the X's for me. Just like how I did it. Circle all the X's. And then you make up another symbol. Like I use circles. This is what I used to do in school. Huh? And then I would box off all the Y's. Everything that have a Y, I box it off. So it's really easy to figure out who's the X's and who's the Y's, right? So I would circle the X's. I would box off the Y's. And for the things that didn't have any letters, I would put squiggly lines underneath it. I swear to God, this is what I used to do. So I put squiggly lines under the values with no letters. I always did that, right? And I still do it today for much more complex questions. I just use circles for the X's, boxes for the Y's, and squiggly lines for the non-X's. So what you want to do is kind of rearrange. All the X's, you're going to bring them together. Look at me do this. I'm going to color code it. Right now, the X's and Y's are mixed up. But why not put all the x's together? Minus 6x plus 11x. You see, I drag these two together. It's like reorganizing your closed drawer, right? Let's put all the y's together. Positive 9y, look at it here, positive 9y and minus 2y. And then the things without x's, the minus 8 plus 6. For the x's, right, if you put the 11 first, like the positive 11, it's still correct, eh? The main thing here is you're dragging all these similar items to be next to each other. Everyone take them up to there. And please don't forget the signs. If something is negative, it has to remain negative when you're dragging it, right? All right. So remember, according to rule number 4, if you're adding and subtracting, you can only do same letters. So let's concentrate on the x's because the reds, both of them have x's. So you could squish those two together to get one answer. This is negative, this is positive. The signs are what? Different. Different signs mean minus. So you're imagining 6 and 11 in your head, minus that. You'll get 5. I know why it takes so long to do that. Always put back the sign of the larger one. We're only focusing on the red, the x's. 11 is larger than 6, so put your positive. And remember, when you're putting back the letter, you put it back once. Do not write x and an xx. The similar letter, write it back once. Let's do the blue. The y's. Signs are different again. All right, signs are different again. It just so happens to be. We know what to do when signs are different. Different signs mean what? Minus. So we get 7 plus 9 minus 2. Put back the, which one is larger? The 9. Put back the positive, and you put back the letter once. And who is last on the list here? The non-letters. Minus 8 plus 6. Signs are different again. It's just coincidence. All of them have different signs. Different signs mean minus. 8 minus 6 is 2. Put back the sign of the larger value. Now, this is the final answer. Let me explain why. You cannot simplify this anymore. And he have an X, and he have a Y, and he have no letter. According to rule number 4, for us to proceed with the question, like to simplify it more, the letters must be the same. But we end up in a situation where the letters are different. So the question shuts down at that point. That's the final answer. Now, if you want to put your final answer with the Y's first, the X's second, and the numbers last, it's still correct. Even if you want to put the number first, like you want to put the minus 2 first, then let's say you want to put the y's after the positive 7, and then you want to put the positive 5x last. This is also correct. Any one of these answers here is correct. But the point is, at that point, you cannot simplify it any further. You can't squish x's and y's together to get a simpler answer. Take down everything on the screen now, right? All right, let's get ready to move on there. Remember, what I'm asking for you to do is try. That's all. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong. Doesn't matter. Oh, let's get ready to go. And here's your practice question. This one has A's and B's. Put all the A's together, put all the B's together, and everything without, without a letter, put it together, right? Remember, if you see B standing by itself, look at this B here. He's automatically 1B. No examiner is going to put in that 1 for you. So you make sure and put it in when you start your calculations. Good luck. About 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, and you should be finished with this question. Parker. Yeah, I cannot stay quiet for long. I must be talking, right? I'm the kind of person who gets beat up a lot in real life because I talk too much. All right. So this 8A, if you look to the left, you don't see any signs. So make sure and put in a positive. This B doesn't have a number, so put in a 1. I hope everyone remembered to do that, right? Circle everything with A's. Once you have an A, make sure and circle the sign. Circle, oh, that doesn't have an A. Positive 8A. So I circled everything with A. Everything with B's, I'm going to box it off, right? Make sure and include the sign. This minus sign belongs to the 3. Who else has a B? This guy here. And then this squiggly lines for the things without any letters. So what I want to do is bring all the A's together all the B's together, and then the non-letterians together. So put your positive 8A minus 11A and positive 8A together. All the B's together, minus 3B minus 1B. And then the minus 8 and minus 3. How much people at least have up to there? Like you were able to successfully bring all the A's, B's, and non-letters together. You call this grouping. When you group things together, grouping, right? Take it from there. Take a minute. This one here, 2 at a time. Huh? Both of them have A. The signs are different. Different signs mean minus. If I have 11 and 8 in my head, let me minus that. 11 and 8 is 3. Put back the sign of the larger one. 11 is larger than 8. Don't forget to put the 8. And who joins the party now? 8. Let's handle the red first. And then we'll say about the blue, and then we'll say about the green. So when we squish the 8 and 11 together, we get minus 3A. Let's handle these two now. Both of them have A, obviously, because they're in red. Signs are different again. One is positive and one is negative. Different signs mean minus. 8 and 3, minus it in the head, you'll get 5. Put back the sign of the larger one. The 8 is larger, so it's positive, and put back the letter. That's the A's. Let's do the B's now. For the B's, signs are the same. Same signs mean add. 3 plus 1 is 4. Put back the sign of the larger one. The 3 is larger. He's carrying a minus sign, and you put back the letter B once. Let's handle the greens. Signs are the same. Same signs mean add. 8 plus 3 is 11. Who's larger? The 8. This cannot be simplified anymore because he have A, he have a B, and he have what? No letter. So according to rule number 4, you can't proceed with that question. The question shut down and end. That is it. How much people could safely say they got that? And if you, I guess saying if you had it mixed up, like you put the minus 4B first, and then you put the positive 5A after, and then you put what? The 11 last, it's still correct, right? It's still correct.